My name is Giorgos Georgakopoulos. I'm General Secretary of Dockworkers Union of Piraeus Port Authority. We have a continuous fight, struggle against privatization of Piraeus Port Authority the last 10 years. It was 2005 that time government, conservative government of New Democracy, Nea Demokratia, tried to privatize the entire Piraeus Port Authority through a concession to Chinese company COSCO, through a bilateral agreement between Greece and Chinese state. Because of our struggles and our argumentation, this did not finalize positively for them, but they came after in 2007 and they proposed a concession project of the bigger part of the container terminal. Actually, at that time, the existing container terminal, pier number 2 of Piraeus Port Authority, to Chinese company COSCO. Unfortunately, all of our fears became true, and starting from the labor rights and the labor conditions in the terminal of COSCO, they are medieval age conditions. Colleagues there working, they don't have the fundamental right of organization, so as to represent themselves collectively. They still do not have a collective bargaining agreement. They don't have a regulation concerning the organization of the job. They have very low income. They have a precarious job. They work from 10 to 15 working days per month. And consequently, many accidents are taking place in the container terminal of COSCO, and generally is a place that I wouldn't like to work, and I wouldn't like any human being to work there.
I'm Vusum Zimabo. I'm a NUMSA sector coordinator, the main negotiator when it comes to the engineering sector.
What is the role of Chinese imports in South Africa?
Chinese, they are the worst of all the. We don't know, and we don't know how did South Africa get to this BRICS arrangement, because we think it was premature to get to BRICS arrangement prior having our country being on par with the main players.
I understand that China is bringing in workers, importing workers for their projects in South Africa, not hiring African workers. Is that the case?
Yes, I can tell you and give you a practical example. If you go to a town in Lichtenburg, which is in Free State, they have about 1,300 Chinese that they brought in to come and erect a firm that should have been erected by South Africans. We have got riggers, we have got all people that can work in the construction industry to build, but they brought Chinese. They come with their food, their rice, everything. What is their value in South Africa in a true sense? It means they've just come to kill our industry.
I'm with General Secretary Irving Jim, who's the General Secretary of the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, one of the most powerful unions in all of Africa. The development of BRICS in China, in South Africa and in Africa and around the world, what has been the effect of that, and do you see that as a solution to the economic crisis?
Not at all. I think first we should be, all of us, I mean, I would argue that as the labor movement, our focus must be to unite workers separated by rivers and forests. I have not come across with BRICS that is going to break new ground. In fact, I think it's another new center to manage, to control, and to champion further neoliberal agenda. If the working class in these countries is not coming together within BRICS, there's no BRICS that will be able to break new ground from imperialism as we know it.
And the importation of Chinese workers in South Africa, is that an issue for NUMSA and the rest of the trade union movement?
Well, we're not xenophobic. Capitalism is international. We wouldn't want to make sure that workers are given borders. But the bottom line is that with the scourge of high levels of poverty, unemployment, and inequality in South Africa, any job that we can create, we should be prioritizing the South Africans.
And you have members who can do the work that is required in South Africa.
We have a very skilled labor force.
Rahul from Botswana.
And are you a member of a union?
Yes, I'm a member of Union Botswana Public employees union.
What is the role of China in Botswana?
The role of China in Botswana is that it fund many infrastructures in terms of loan, and what they do, by the look of things, is that China, when it does its manufacturing process in Botswana or building project in Botswana, they come up with their workers and claim that we don't have the experienced workers. That's their excuse of bringing the Chinese workers in Botswana.
So
No, they are not. It's not okay for the Chinese to do that. But there's the same problem that we face, because what we realize, you don't know when this China give loans to Botswana, what were the agreements for? Hey.
are they secret?
It's not been published, you know. We see the reason why people will start to complain when they see many manufacturing process and many tenders being given to China. Then that's when people start to talk about them. Yes, they could be done by Botswana workers, because we have many of Botswana workers who can do that.